Howdy everyone, I am back and today I'm going to be doing a craft for you. This is going to be a Valentine's Day wreath. This is going to be done with all supplies from Dollar Tree. Now I do have some tools that are not from the Dollar Tree, but the supplies that I purchased are from the Dollar Tree. First item that we're going to use is this metal ring. This is a 14-inch metal ring, and I showed this when I did a Dollar Tree, a little mini haul that I did at the Dollar Tree. And this you'll find it in the floral department where they have styrofoam and some silk flowers and things like that. There's a little aisle that has these kind of items. So this is where that's going to be located. The rest of the items are all from their Valentine collection. The other item that I've got is this little heart sign. It's just a little sign and it has a little ribbon on it. You can just hang it like that, and this is actually a little chalkboard, and you can actually write a little message. And I happen to have some chalk, so I've got it ready to write a little message. But there you go. It's got a little glittery edge to it. It's really pretty. You can write whatever you want on there. If you wanted to recycle it after Valentine's, because it was only $1, you could, just sand this off and maybe paint it in another color or add just another color to it. And do it for Easter if you want it, or even keep it red if you want it. But you could definitely recycle this and just paint over the red glitter, or just add some glue on top of that and put a different glue color. Okay, that's aside. Okay, the other item that I got was some decorative mesh. There we go. I got this also from the Dollar Tree. This is a 5-yard roll. It's 6 inches wide. And I had purchased, when I showed in the mini haul, the items that I got, I had purchased a white with a silver, but I went today and I found this one with red, because really what I wanted was to get another roll just in case. So instead of getting another roll of the other one, which was in the Easter collection, I found this in their Valentine. So I got 2 rolls because I'm not sure how much of this mesh I'm going to need. I don't know if 5 yards will be enough, but we'll find out. And then, of course, I wanted to make a bow on it, so I've got some regular ribbon, and I did show this also in my mini haul. This is a wire-edged ribbon, and it's got a little bit of a glittery bit to it, as you can see there. So it kind of goes with the glitter on the edge here. And, of course, this also has a little bit of a metallic, look to it. So it's got that little shine in there. And to continue on with that glittery metallic shine, I've got these little picks. Here we go. They're little heart picks, and there's 7 in the bag. And they're on a little stick, and I'm probably going to cut them off the little stick. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them or just a couple, but I want to use this also within the wreath that I'm going to create. Again, all these items were only $1, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's what I spent, or what I have spent to make this wreath. Also, you will need some supplies, some tools that you'll maybe already have in your home. If you don't, you might want to get these items as well. So you'll need a glue gun. You'll need glue sticks for your glue gun. And we're not going to use very much of that. Need some scissors to cut up our ribbon and our mesh, decorative mesh, just in case. I'll need some some wire cutters, because I will be cutting some wire. Now you may want to use your scissors if you already have, but I don't want to ruin mine by cutting wire with them. So either have a separate pair of inexpensive scissors to cut wire, or get yourself some wire cutters, and they don't have to be huge ones like this. Okay, so I've already mentioned everything, and of course I have a little piece of chalk that I already had. Okay, those are the supplies, and I'm going to go ahead and prep everything, get everything out of the packages, remove tags, and I'll be back so we can do the wreath. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I've already cut up a bunch of little pieces of wire, and I've cut them, they're about 3 inches long. You can cut 2, 3 inches long of little pieces of wire, and I've cut a bunch of them. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use, but I've cut quite a few here, and then I'm probably going to end up getting more. The way we're going to start this is we're going to unroll some of this. We're going to take the end and scrunch it up like that, pinch it up, and then we're going to make a little loop about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches in length, like that, and then fold it down and pinch it right there. And then we're going to take a little wire and wrap it around tight. Okay, and then that wire, we're going to use it to grab onto these wires that are going around, but I'm going to start on this one, because if I just tie it on here, it's going to be sliding back and forth, and I don't want the first one to do that. I want the first one to stay in place, so I'm going to capture that piece as well. And then just make sure the little wire ends are either, you know, pointing in a direction where you're not going to poke yourself, or what you're going to do is make sure that they're not sticking out, and just bend them in, use what little pliers or whatever you have to do. I've just flattened them up against, so that's where it's tied on. Just like that. Okay. Once I've made that first loop, I'm going to continue by making another loop the same length, about 6 inches. Fold it up, and then you're going to wire it down again. And you're just going to keep doing that till you have filled it up. Now this time, instead of wiring it, you know, I'm not going to follow this, let me put it this way. I'm not going to follow this one this time. I'm going to go in and do this one so that my little loops are kind of going this way and that way until I've reached, you know, the end that I want to reach. So I'm going to go ahead and move it up a little bit and wire it right here. Now you'll find that you may not need 3 inches of wire, you may just need 2, which is what I'm discovering. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off a little bit off, which is about 1 inch. Cut that off. And I'm going to continue doing that back and forth. Loops back and forth all the way down. Okay, so I'll be back so I can show you how much more I've done. Alright, I've done a few loops. Here we go, and I'm really liking the way it looks. So what I'm doing, again, I am making a loop with this. I'm pinching it, and what I'm doing is the first loop, I'm grabbing it somewhere in the middle, so I'm using this one. And then I make another loop, and then I grab this one. And then I make another loop, and then I grab the one on the outside. And then I go back to the middle, and then to the inside, and then the outside. Back to the middle, the inside, and then the outside. That way I have a loop in the middle, a loop in the side, one on the outside, a loop in the middle, on the inside, and then on the outside. And that's what I've been doing. Middles, and then the sides, middles, and then the sides. So that's what I've got so far. I'll let you watch a little bit, because I've already done one to the inside, and I've done one to the outside, so now I need one in the middle. So I'm just looping. And you might poke yourself a little bit with a wire, by the way. So I'm just going to twist it around, like so. Grabbing onto the middle. Let me get this to crisscross. There we go, it's twisted. And then I'm going to grab it to the, sort of in the middle, because there's 4, so there's really not like a 5th to be in the middle. And then from on the other side of it here, on the bottom, where I've put the wires, then you can twist those wires, just like that, just once, and bend the wire flat so it's not sticking out to the wall or to the front where it'll poke. Just flat. Okay, and then you can just push it if you want. So then the next one, I'm going to put it on the inside, and I'm going to grab this wire right here, and then I'm going to make another loop on the outside and grab this wire, and then one in the middle and grab this one, this one, and this one. I'm not actually grabbing the one on the very inside. I'm just using these 3, so I have a middle, an inside, and an edge. So if you get that, that's what I'm doing. So I'm not using this one, and it's okay because my little loops are big enough where they'll cover that. There you go. I'm going to continue doing this. I've done the outside, now I got to go to the inside and then to the middle. And I've poked myself quite a few times already. So you might want to keep some band-aids nearby. There's probably an easier, simpler way to do this, but you know, I've got to do it the complicated way. Not all the time. I always try to find an easy way, and to me this is the easy way. And maybe it might be complicated to you, but it's an easy way to get all these little loops to stick. Look, cut myself a few times, poke myself. Okay, now I've got an outside and inside, and now I need a middle one. If you lose track if you're doing the outside, the middle, don't worry about that. Just keep making loops and sticking them on there. If you have any mesh left over, you can always make single, cut out the little piece, like maybe 7 inches long, and make a little loop, so it'll be a 6, sort of a 6. It's not, I'm not sticking to like measuring it exactly. I'm just eyeballing them. So that's all you're going to do. Just eyeball your, oops, get in there. I can't find my wire. Hello. Okay, I'm going to turn it around so that I can see it. Okay, here it is. Nasty. Trying to get away from me. Okay. Twisting it. Get on now, the outside, then the inside, and then the middle again. Now this mesh looks the same on both sides. It doesn't really matter which is the side that I'm keeping facing upward, if you will. And make another one. It just moves all over the place. This is the boring part. Wrapping the wire around and twisting it. And grabbing onto the edge. And twisting the wire enough so it doesn't come undone. And then just push it that way. And then keep going. And I'll be back. Okay, so I came to the end of that first roll and then I just did the last loop and I tied it on. And as you can see, here's how far I've done, and I've still got a lot to go. So just from where I'm looking at it, I did spread it out a little bit more. I moved the loops over a little bit more so they would cover more space. But I'm not going to separate them anymore because I don't want to see the wire. I mean, if you look closely, you can't see the wire through it. But I don't want it to be clearly obvious. So I didn't want to spread it out too much. So this is kind of a nice little bit here. So as we can see, that's how much space it covered, and I'm feeling like it's probably the second roll is probably gonna cover up to here, which means I'm gonna have this whole bit right here that is not covered. So I'm either gonna have to run to the Dollar Tree and buy another roll of this mesh, or because of the supplies that I got. Oops, sorry about that. I feel like if I cover this part, let me hold it back a little bit. If I cover the same amount, which would be about, this is about the center. Okay, that means about right here. That means this whole part will not show. But I do have this ribbon and I do have this heart which I want to put on it. So I feel like if I put the heart high enough to cover the wire in the back on my wreath, if I put the heart high enough, then that'll cover that space, and then whatever little gaps I have on the side here, I will make two little bows out of the red and fill that in. So I think that's going to make a pretty wreath regardless. Or it could be, you know, actually going down the other way, and the heart can be on the bottom, or it can be on the side, and so forth. There I don't have to put any of this mesh on here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue and put the rest of the loops with this last one, finish that up, and then I'll see what I have of space, and then I'll either decide how I want to put my heart on there, and then just add my bow. So I'll be back. By the way, how many loops did I end up making? I ended up making 18 loops. I went ahead and I counted them so that I could tell you how many loops came out of that one mesh, if you know, folding it at 6 inches, more or less, okay? Okay, I'm at the end. I'm almost done with the very last loop on the second roll. I didn't even look at the time to see how long this is taking me, but I guess it just depends on the person. So I'm doing the last little loop and just tying it down. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to spread it out a little bit, just a tiny bit. And as you can see, let me move the camera a little bit. There we go. As you can see, it covered more than half. So I feel like if you got a 3 rolls, it would be enough to fill up this other section, and then you'd have this little empty spot. But you could put something there, or like I said, I am going to add a bow so that it would go there. So now the decision is whether I do want to go with this layout, which looks kind of cute, or do I want to go with a side? And I'm kind of liking that. Let's see. Let me look at it. And of course this wire is going to show, but here's where I would put that big red bow. Or do I want it like this with 2 red bows? I think I'm going to do it like this with 2 red bows on the side. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to need this little bit here. Let's see. I could use that to actually hang it. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on there. So I'm going to go from behind like that. Make sure the mesh loops are in the front. And I don't want to have to put this too far in because I want to be able to see the chalkboard. So I'm going to put it about that far in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue. And this is not going to lay very flat because of the mesh. So I'm going to put lots of glue right here and right in here so it catches the wire and then the board underneath. Okay, I'm going to need another stick. Excuse my arm there. Push it in, sorry. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it. See, that's where I glued it, and I'm holding it tight onto the wire wreath here to make sure it adheres. Hold it till it dries. Add a little bit more. I just want to make sure there's enough glue to hold it. The little board is not very heavy at all, but since I'm attaching it to this, now that's holding the weight of the wire wreath, which is not heavy at all, but then it also has these mesh things on it, so it gives it a little bit of weight. So I want to make sure it's attached, you know, fairly well. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side, and, well, no, let me put something under it, because I want to make sure that, yeah, there we go, so it's flat. So it stays flat. I'm going to go ahead and start making the bow. And I did cut, when I told you that I did 18 loops, I cut 18 pieces of wire. So, and I used them all. So I did another 18 loops. So altogether that's what, 36 loops of mesh with 2 rolls of that 5 yards of mesh. So I'm just going to cut a couple of these. And this is a 3 yard, yeah, let's see. Well, 3 yards. Yeah, I think I had mentioned that before. It's 3 yards in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it all off. And I'm going to use a yard and a half and a yard and a half to make 2 bows. So I'm going to fold it in half. The ends together. And right here. And I got some glue on it. Oh, that's lovely. Let's take it off. There we go. So now I've got 2 pieces, 1.5 each. 1.5 feet of each. Okay, I'm going to start making a bow with 1.5 yards of ribbon. So in order for my, oops, look what I just did. I just tore it. I'm going to cut off some. That's okay, no big deal. All right. That cut off about 6, let's see, I ended up cutting about 6-7 inches, so that's okay. Let's not worry about that. About 1.25 yards, let's just say that. Okay, so I'm going to pinch the ends, make a little loop, pinch, twist, make another loop, so they're about the same size, pinch and twist, make another loop, pinch and twist, and just use it all up. And that's it. I got 5 little loops out of it. And here's my wire that I had already cut. And then I'm just going to tie that up. A little bit of tail that's left over. Just cut it like that. You can cut it in an angle. You can cut it straight. Doesn't matter. Here we have the other one. Crunch it up. Make a little loop. Pinch and twist, so you always have the pretty side up when you do the loop. Pinch and twist. And I can feel that this is the outer part because I can feel the glitter, and over here it feels a little bit smoother. So that's the inside part. So twist. Make another loop, and I'll make 5 loops like I did with the other one. Pinch, twist, to have the pretty side up on the loop. And I made 5 loops, so I want to do the same with this one. Just because. Okay, and I'm going to leave some of this wire like that because I'm going to attach that with her. And then fold, and from the inside, the fold towards the edge, cut up. And there you get that little snake tongue. And of course, a little piece left over, that's fine because kind of messed up the other one. And then I'm just going to poof these up a little bit. Poof them up. Okay. My glue is dry on here. This is my wreath. I have a little bit of wire showing right here, so that's where I'm going to attach one of the bows, and I'm going to attach it with this little loop kind of pointing outward. Somewhere in the middle here. And behind. I'll wrap it around. Okay. Poof up the bow. I'm going to slide this over up a little bit. There we go. That's what we want. Just a little bit like that. Do the same on the other side. And my little tail facing outward. And just tie that. Oops, sorry. Twist it. Twist the wire back here. Get it in there. Okay, now I'm going to poof the bow. Spread it out a little bit so the loops are covering the wire behind it. Look at how cute that is. Okay, remember I did have these little picks, so I'm just gonna cut off the stick that was on there. I can save the little sticks for something. Some other little craft where I might need a little stick or something. Hot glue. Glue them anywhere. I'm going to stick some in the bows. Let me put some more glue in here. This is still got. Okay, I'm going to move the little bows down a little bit and put a little heart right here. I'm actually gluing it onto the little board here, just a little there, so that kind of covers up that little spot. Oops, this one fell off. I didn't allow it to dry. Okay, let's glue this back on. There we go. Make sure it's on there. Glue a little heart on the other side. Okay, what was I going to do? Okay, put some more glue in here. Let's get this. And let's put it right about here. I'm going to put one in the middle over here as well. You don't have to add these, but I'm adding them. Still got 2 more. You don't have to use them all, but I'm going to use them all because it kind of helps to hide some of the wire that's underneath when I move the loops over. Okay. I am going to use them, and I'm going to use them all down there where the mesh is. Okay. There's another one right here. And another one. You could sort of evenly space them out, but I didn't, obviously, so just wherever. Okay. Make sure those loops are covering the wire. Yep, they are. There we go. Isn't that cute? And I'm just going to write your little message right there with your chalk. There we go. Oops, it's falling off. I need to let it dry. Let these little hearts dry. and then I'll hold it up for you so you can see. And I will be back. All right, here is the completed wreath. I wrote I love you on it. You can write whatever you want. Little hearts in there, little bows. All the mesh and the little hearts that I've glued onto it. I think it looks really pretty. Let me know what you think in the comments if you enjoyed this. And let me know if you're going to go ahead and make this, or if you've already done it. Let me know how it came out. Maybe you have a link. Maybe you have a video that you'd like me to check out. Go ahead and put that at the bottom, and I will check you out as well. Now, if you have other ideas, something that you'd like me to try, I always say that. And so please also leave that in the comments below. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'll notice, there is a subscription icon now on my, it should be on the bottom right of the videos, my little icon for my channel. Just push that so you can subscribe. So if you haven't already subscribed, you can do so easily right there during any time of the video. I want to thank you all for watching today. Wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day. And as always, enjoy.